of Generations of the Game. We're at episode 4 here, and we have some very, very special guests who are very knowledgeable in the world of basketball with us tonight. First off, I got to say what's up to my boy Will. What's going on, Will?
Hey JP, it's always a great time, brother, when we recording, man. Today's even better. We got two dope guests with us, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, we're going with the introductions right now. Our first guest, basketball guru, South Jersey, Philadelphia area, my man Rob Page. Rob, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, brothers, man. Glad to be on. You know, it's that time of the year again. Here we go. Season is
Yes,
here. Let's
yes,
roll
sir.
with it.
Yes, sir. And also, we have also with us Pablo Cong, also Duke fan, and also very knowledgeable about the national rankings of the high school basketball as well. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, brother? Man, I appreciate y'all having me on, bro. Like
Man,
I'm excited for this show, man. Ready to get it in.
yes. First off, it's an honor and it's an honor to have you both on with us, man. Me and Will really, really do appreciate both y'all, man. So,
I appreciate
okay.
you.
So before we get to the high school basketball stuff, let's get into two basketball topics from the NBA. I guess the first topic we can get into is the return of John Morant the other night.
Uh,
And what can you
Fabulous,
say? He put on a
fabulous,
show. Yes,
fabulous.
yes,
It-
sir. All
it's
right, who wants to
ironic.
take this first?
It's ironic because he said he didn't want the last play to be his play. He didn't feel comfortable yet. And I found that strange. I said because he was so fluid, man, coming back after missing all those games, 25 games. He just came out there like he never missed a step.
He sure did. I agree with you, man. He's amazing. He's amazing, definitely. What do you feel about him, Pablo? What you saw the other night?
That's John Morant, man. Phenomenal talent. He hit I think in that game, he hit the game winner, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
Yep.
hit the game winner. Yep.
He hit the game winner. So I mean, him like you said, him being out for so long and him coming back, not missing the beat, man. That kid is elite, bro. Like one of the best point guards in the game. I'm excited to see him back, man. And I expect the Grizzlies to do good thing with their leader back, man.
yes, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Well, of course. What do you have to say about his performance from the other night?
I mean, it was phenomenal, man. And like Rob was saying, Ja was saying he didn't want the last play, but he's a player that embraces the moment. I mean, even when you look at it, he has, him tattooed on his hand. Like, not that many people walk it,
Right.
and the way that they talk it or tat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I actually had a little debate on my Facebook page the other day about John Morant, and I said, in my opinion, he might be the most athletic guard, maybe point. We got to consider all the Skywalkers that have been Jordan, David Thompson, all them. But as far as point guards go, Vince Carter, of course. But as far as point guards go, I think John Morant might be the most athletic point guard that I've ever seen. I would say the one that's closest to him is probably Derrick Rose. What do you all say about? Who wants to take this first? What do you all say about this?
I mean, I think the list, not in order, but the list has to have Ja already, D Rose, Westbrook, and then you look at some guys that may not have been, at the same level, but Baron Davis, Steve Francis, like there's two guys that come off the page. And if you want an old school one, a guy that you are very knowledgeable of, JP, and Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson was definitely. Um, who wants to take this next? Pablo, what do you think?
As far as athletic point guards, it's funny that I was gonna say Baron Davis. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely one of the
Oh, forgot
ones
about Baron
actually.
Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he
a
did it.
lot of people forgot about Baron Davis. I actually played him in high school actually, and he kicked my ass. But
Oh,
you know,
wow.
he was definitely one that I was gonna mention. But I think those other names is definitely John Morant. Obviously, has to be up there with D Rose, probably even more than D Rose. He's a little more durable, so we're gonna get to see a lot more from Ja and D Rose. But Yeah, those that's just a good list, man. You know, the
Right.
Kevin Johnson reference, man, that was a good one too, Will. You went back in time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you're old enough to know about no Kevin Johnson, Will. I don't know what you're saying.
So you played against Barry Davis. What high school did you play for in California?
Yeah. So it was actually it was an AAU team when I played against Baron Davis. I forget it was the SCA or some shit like that. I don't even remember what team he played on or whatever, but it was in California when I played him. And he killed us. You know what I'm saying? He killed us. He was I think about a year or two older than me, but he killed us. It is what it is. The rest is history, brother.
Yeah. Rob, what do you feel about this? Is John Morant the most athletic point guard that we've seen, or who would you say is up there with him, or maybe even better?
Nah, right now he is the elite. I mean, his speed with his handle, his control. I mean, he's like it's like lightning. I mean, the closest thing to him right now is really Maxey, is speed wise with his control going to the basket. So yeah, he's most definitely the top point guard right now by far. Just one game, but you know he's got it. He's got the full package.
Yeah, he does. And the thing about John Morant too that is amazing about it is his body control in the air, man. Just the way he could just, it's elite. I mean, it's like when you see him, you don't know what he's going to do. That's the thing about it. You don't know what he's going to do when he has the ball in his hands, and a lot of people say that he reminds them of Allen Iverson. He does in a lot of ways. He does. AI was a killer though. I mean, AI was he was special. But John Morant is special as well, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, JP. If he gets his mid range to AI level, I mean, he's already tough to guard. But if he gets at the AI level, good night.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I think it's just good to have him back in the league, man. And look, man, in life we all make mistakes and stuff, and everything. It's about people improving themselves. And I really do believe that Ja learned his lesson, and he really is going to improve himself as a person, because we've had a lot of tragic tales in basketball, man, especially back in the 80s. When we see Len Bias, Benji Wilson from Chicago, and players like that, man. But it's just good to see Ja back, man, and doing his thing. As we segue to the next topic. Next topic is yesterday. Stephen A. Smith, Jay Williams, and Mad Dog Russo. They were talking about Shaq saying that Steph might have to be considered the GOAT of the NBA. And that resulted into another thing that we're going to get into right about now. And they were talking about the top 5 centers of all time. So they asked Mad Dog Russo who his top 5 centers were. He said he'd take Moses Malone over Shaq. Stephen A. went crazy. He said, there's no way, you can't do this, whatever. Look, I believe Mad Dog Russo has a case. Moses Malone, to me, might be the most underrated player in the history of the NBA. He won 2 NBA championships. He won an NBA championship, 2-time league MVP, 3-time league MVP. If it wasn't for him coming to Philadelphia, there would have been no championships in Philadelphia in '83. And on top of that there too, this is the thing that got me yesterday. When Mad Dog Russo said he carried a below average Houston Rockets team in 1981 to the finals, they tried to dismiss that. Moses, look, let me tell you something. Moses is the only person that I've seen in my lifetime that can handle Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Gave him Kareem fits. And, Moses definitely has to be a top 5 center. He taught and tutored Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go around here and what's everybody's opinion about Moses Malone and where he ranks? Is he better than Shaq? Is he a top 5 center, or Rob, we're gonna start with you first because I know you've seen Moses, and I've seen him and everything. So, what's your opinion, brother?
He's definitely a top 5 center. I mean, the things that he do around the basket, he defensive wise, not counting offensive and the offensive rebounds, his putbacks, he just was a natural around the basket. It's a natural, and nobody can stop it. And you're right, he did give Kareem fits. He was he was definitely. I might put him top 3 because of that caliber. If he could have been with a team for a while and stayed, like even if they had to broke that Sixers team up, there's no telling what could have happened with him being there.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Till this day, that trade still bothers me with the Sixers because they could have had the number 1 pick, Brad Daugherty. They could have a front line of Brad Daugherty, Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, and if Kyle Katz would have believed Andrew Toney about his feet when Andrew Toney went to him and told him, "Hey, there's something wrong with my feet," they didn't believe him. And Maurice Cheeks, there would have been a championship in the Philly. In the late 80s. I mean, I know about Detroit and Boston and LA, but they would have one of those teams would have been taken out.
Great point.
One of those teams would have been taken out. Pablo, how do you feel about this?
Just overall, I feel like Moses Malone. So when he came in the league, and I forget what year it was. What was it like?
74, 70. Well, yeah, he came in the league in 76, 77 after the ABA folded.
Well, it was ABA first, but what about the NBA? When did he come in the NBA? It was like
76, 77. He came in the league. He actually went to the Portland Trailblazers first. Then he got traded to the Houston Rockets.
Okay, so that's the thing about it too, is that when so much time has passed, people kind of forget about him. You know what I mean? You can see like Kareem, he played later than Moses, and people still kind of forget about Kareem. So as far as like, Moses being better than Shaq, I mean, I think he was definitely more skilled than Shaq for sure. You know what I mean? But as far as being more dominant and more recent, people gonna give Shaq the nod because that's what they see. And a lot of stuff that Moses did, you can't just go back and YouTube it and then just watch Moses. You know what I'm saying? So, of course I think it's a little recency bias when it comes with that comparison as far as Shaq and Moses. But if you ask me, I think overall player-wise, I definitely would give it to Moses Malone.
Yeah, definitely. Will?
Well, you know me, man. I had to go back, and do my research, on Moses. But the resume, the overall, skill set that he had, I think I have to agree with you guys, man. Like you can put Moses above Shaq, and I would say part of it too is an intangible factor. Like with Moses, I never heard anybody, saying he was taking plays or games, or half a season off. With Shaq, you had to pray that he was coming in shape, or that he felt like playing. And he was just so gifted that, of course, he was able to step out there even, if he was overweight at the time and still dominate. But as you can see, the toll that took and the breakup that forced on, one of the strongest teams, in, league history, So I'm always going to go for, of course, skills matter, but I'm also going to side with the player that I don't have to worry about bringing it all the time. So I got to give it to Moses.
Good point. And before we get to our main course of high school basketball, we have to address this. This is what got me a little fired up yesterday. When I listened to Stephen A, and he said that he couldn't put Wilt Chamberlain above Shaq neither because he played against people that were a foot shorter than him. Come on, Stephen. Come on, brother. Come on. Look, I don't do GOATs. I don't do them. I just go by errors and say this player is great. Wilt Chamberlain was the type of player that could be great even 200 years from now. 200 years from now, he would still be great in the NBA. He would still be a great player 200 years from now in the NBA. He is a timeless player. And we seem to forget, not only was Wilt Chamberlain strong, but also he was an athlete. People don't understand. He was 7'1", 7'2". He ran a 440 yards in 50 seconds. A man that size. He was a 6'8" high jumper. He ran the 200 meters, I think, in 22.5, 22.8. He was just a great. He threw the discus 56 feet. He was the Big Eight at the time, the Big Eight champion in throwing the discus. This man was a great athlete. And when you look at him back then, if he came up in this era, with all the supplements, the weight training and stuff, my goodness, he'd be something that we've never seen before. Who wants to take this first? Because, you know, it kind of got me irritated a little bit when we talk about Wilt and act like, oh, like he just isn't just, he wasn't just a freak of nature, maybe the best athlete to ever play in the NBA. So who wants to take this first?
Go ahead, Rob.
Well, all I can say is that you said it with the last few words you said. He was a freak of nature. He was like an octopus out there on the court with 8 arms, just getting the ball. It was unbelievable the stuff that he was doing at that size and as agile as he was. Yeah, he's got to be. He's the number one, man. I think most definitely number one.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. I feel the same way. And like, you know, guys like Stephen A, man, that's all shock value. I think he's saying stuff. I'm not even sure if he believes what he's saying. You know what I mean? So I don't even, you know, then that's just being honest. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you could put anybody over Wilt, to be honest with you. Just overall, you know, body of work, athleticism, you know, whole skill set, just a complete athlete as a whole. So I'm not really sure how you could put anybody over Wilt, and that's just real. He's my number one, and that's just real.
Yeah. Go ahead, Will.
So one thing that I would say, you know, and of course we're generations of the game, right? So I'm a young guy, right? So I think, of course, there's limited footage of Will, first of all, but I think they do a disservice to the people that didn't see him because they show like the same couple of clips all the time. And what I mean by that is when I look up Wilt and when I like do deep dives and watch some of the games they put on NBA TV and stuff like that, Wilt actually was a very skilled player. But all you are told and shown is just how athletic he was. You know, I'm seeing Wilt consistently do turnaround, you know, one hand bank shots off the glass on crazy angles, you know, things that you wouldn't expect him to do. The way they describe him sounds more kind of like Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? Like energy, athletic, effort. But Will was a killer, man. And when you have a player that was able to block the sky hook, I mean, come on, man. That's the stuff.
You can't. He was the only. I think him, Bill Willoughby, and I believe it was maybe David Thompson were the only 3 to ever block the sky hook. I do believe.
Hey,
I do believe. And you talking about Kareem at 7'4" at the apex of him putting that ball up at the apex and somebody actually blocking it. The most unstoppable shot in the history of basketball. That was, I mean, you know, that was amazing, man. You know, and I would tell anybody out there, if you want to see a documentary, look at the documentary on Wilt that came on Showtime this summer. It's a 3 parts that started from his early life to his NBA career to the end of his, of course, you know, the end of his life and stuff. Very good documentary. I would recommend that for anybody out there to actually watch. Wilt Chamberlain actually died at the age of 63. He was kind of young when he and considering it was kind of shocking to see him die at the age of 63 because this man was running marathons at 60 years old. This man was bench pressing 400 pounds at 60 years old. And he was always a physical freak of nature. You know, of course, rest in peace to him, man. But you know, yeah, man. But you know, we just had to touch on that for a minute, man. And look, I agree with a lot of stuff Stephen A. says. Of course, there's some that's like head scratching. And trust me, this was a head scratching moment. It's a head scratching moment. That's all I can say about it.
Hey,
As we
JP,
move, yes, sir.
real quick before we move on, talking about Will, I heard a quote. I can't remember who said it, but essentially they were talking Will versus Michael in a sense. I think it might have been Will's quote, and he was saying they changed the rules to make the game harder for me, but they changed the rules to make it easier on Michael, and that always stuck with
It's a
me.
fact.
And, if they change the rules because you're that great, that says it all.
And Will, that's true. I heard that they actually had a heated discussion, and that Michael was saying, well, if you're so great, how come we didn't win that many championships or something like that? And they said Wilt stood up and told him, he said, well, when they make the changes for you to stop you from being dominant, then you can talk to me and stuff. And I heard the discussion was over basically after he said that, man. But they both were great. They both were great with what they did, man. They both were timeless players, Mike and Wilt. And I know one of my coworkers got to shout him out again, Joe Lawson. I know he's gonna be like Kobe somewhere out there. Yeah, Joe, I know you're gonna say something about Kobe when I come to work tomorrow. So but yeah, man, we're talking about all-time greats here, man. All three of them really were all-time greats.
Yeah.
But as we move into the next segment, as everyone knows, as Rob said, this is the time of year.
It is.
The time of year, which is high school basketball. So I guess we should talk, maybe we'll start off local first, and then we'll go to the national scene. Pablo, I know, we're going to talk about that Mont Verde Express going on down there, man. We got to talk about them and the Boozer twins, and we know, and Link Academy and all them. But let's start off local here for the area where me, Will, and Rob is from, South Jersey, Philadelphia area. And I guess we'll start with Rob, as he, as we say, he's one of the basketball gurus in this area who knows what's going on. Rob, speak on what's going on down here in South Jersey and the Philadelphia area in general.
Well, we got the two powerhouses, Emotech and Camden. Again, Camden is still without two of their big transfers right now, and they're off to a slow start. They're still winning. They've won 3 in a row. They won their first 3. They think they won tonight by only like 7, but they don't have everybody yet. But they look good. They look good. So we'll see what they got in a couple of weeks. Well, they won't have their stars players there either. They got to play on McCracken from Georgia at Rutgers on the 29th.
Right. I'm gonna be there for that. I'm definitely gonna be there for that game. Yes, sir.
I should be covering that event. Yeah. So that's going to show a little bit, but they're not ready for that yet. It's a shame you won't have their top players. And the Emotech, I haven't looked at their schedule yet. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that when we get done. I'm going to look at their schedule. I know I think they're in Florida right now. They'll be back again strong, on the national scene and the local scene. That's it right there, But the big surprise is out of Central Jersey. That's where Dave Buff went to this new school they just built in Asbury Park.
Right. The former coach of Roselle Catholic,
yeah,
right?
Yes, called College Achievement Charter School. Public charter school is Group 1. He took some major players with him to go there. They are going to be the team. I'm going to go see them next Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely give me an update on them and let me know, what you see from them. I've heard too. They're trying to build something down there. They definitely try to build something. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So Will, what do you see?
So, man, I'm in VA now, but I keep tabs, up there, man. And, starting with Camden, of course, man, you see the jacket, it's a great day. We beat Louisville, L's down, and we picked up, in my opinion, was, probably a top 10 to 15 player in the country in Billy Richmond, so it's a great day.
Yeah. Billy Richmond is going to fit in well at Kentucky, man. He's a 6'6", I guess 6'5" to 6'7" wing. Can run the floor, pass. He can do it. He can really do it all. Do a lot of things for you, man. Very athletic. Can shoot the ball from outside. Has a nice mid-range game. He's going to have a big year this year, man. You know, and he's going to have a real big year this year. And looking forward to seeing him. Go ahead, Rob, as you were saying, brother.
No, I'm good there. Yeah, they're the two big teams, and then I did go see. We got another third generational high school young man playing down there in Pittman from the Crispins.
Wow.
Which is Steve Pittman's grandson, which is Joe's son. He played at Penn State, and John played for the Lakers. They also got a sister who was good. That family alone has scored probably 10,000 points.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. The Crispin brothers were Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
Yes, they were. Yes,
they had no limit on the rain, but they pulled up from.
Right. Yes. Yep.
Also, hey Rob, I had to ask you, what about Eastside, which used to be Woodrow Wilson? How are they? I heard they have a strong team as well.
They have a strong team. They don't really have a big man again this year, but Kenny Avant, a longtime friend of mine, he brings the best out of the kids. Great coach. He's a great coach. Great motivator. He really teaches the kids the game. Also, from Kenny's. Kenny has a great advantage because he's dean of students. He's very good with kids, females and males. He's like a magnet. They cling to him, and he knows he gets them straight. He really raised some nice young men, through his basketball career. Because I've known him for a while. Kids have played for him. He does a great job.
Right. And of course, Malik Wayne's doing a great job at Camden as well. Coach, very young coach who's coming up, and he's doing a great job. And from what I understand, I do believe January 7th is when Camden and Eastside their first game. I say Eastside.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a very good game. I would tell people out there who are listening to us or watching us, get out there and see these teams play. It's going to be a very good game. Whenever they hook up, you can throw the records out the window. Yep. So it should be a very, very good game. And then also, I want to say another thing too. I'm also looking forward to my alma mater, Willingboro. They're actually doing something this year. I heard they got a nice team.
I did notice. Yes, I did notice they what are they? 2-0 right now or 3-0?
Are they 2-0? Okay.
Yeah, I think they 2-0. Yeah.
Who's the coach over there, Rob? I heard he got a new young coach.
I don't know who this new guy is. I don't know who this is. I don't know.
Right. So I hope and of course, West Hampton Tech's going to be tough with Coach Bird.
Yeah, they suffered two bad losses the last two games.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with them, but they should be there in the end too. Paul the Six will be another team that's going to be there in the end. They got some good players. I'll tell you who to look out for. The Paul the Six girls team hasn't lost a step. Hannah may be gone, but they got another freshman girl there right now. His dad, whose father's from Camden. Man, I can't think of her name right now. I have to do my research on it, but she's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, we definitely will keep an eye on all those teams. And I heard Lenape also is a team to look out for this year as well.
Yes.
Another team. Yeah, Pablo, last year, we're talking about really South Jersey right now, which is right across the bridge from Philadelphia. Last year, this South Jersey area alone had 4 McDonald's All-Americans, 3 boys and 1 girl.
Yes.
That's historic for an area with just a couple 100,000 people. We had a historic year.
And then something else they did bring out a point of that Hannah and DJ are right from the same county, right in the same city, Camden, winning McDonald's MVPs. That will probably never ever happen again.
Right, in the sense, you're right. They were MVPs of McDonald's game.
Right.
So on a national scale, everybody knows about Camden on a national scale, but we've had some players and great teams come out of South Jersey. Definitely. You know, the people up North Jersey will never give us our due. But we earn their respect when we beat the hell out of them some of the time when we play them. And of course, North Jersey is always going to be a powerhouse. Tim Thomas, former NBA great, former Patterson Catholic great. He's coaching at Paramus Catholic now. I'm sure he's going to get a real good team going up there and stuff. You got Don Bosco with Dylan Harper up north, and they play in the same conference. And Bergen Catholic, of course, it's the usual. Of course, one of the Newark teams, I think, was it Newark West Side, Newark Tech? They're going to be tough. So it's just the same. It's going to be the same players, players.
Hey, JP, real quick, I want to get Pablo's take on Dylan Harper, man. I know it hurts. I know it hurts, man. But what is it to stay home?
Well, Will, just from our conversations, I thought he was the best player in the class, and he was my favorite player to watch in the class. I saw him live, man, so much over this past year on the AAU level, bro. Like, every time I saw him, I was just impressed, man. The kid is just a winner. That's why I wanted him at Duke, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But, the kid is a winner, man. Ultimate competitor. He just knows. He makes the right plays, bro, and he's the engine, man, on every team he's been on, bro. Like, and he's just, everything that he does is just elite, bro. The game to me, like when I see him play, it's like he's always like 2 plays ahead of people, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's like what's the most impressive thing about Dylan to me. He just seems to just be, thinking so far ahead, man. That's why he's just able to make the plays that he makes, because he's not like a super athlete or nothing. He's just
he's a basketball player.
IQ.
He's a basketball player. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That definitely.
Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Rob.
No, that was my thoughts.
Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Pablo. Rob, I wanted to ask you before we move on to more so on the national scene. I know you were talking about Emotech. What's your thoughts on the latest great point guard from Philly, man, Ahmad Noel?
Oh man, hell of a player. When you talk about Philadelphia, its guard play has always been something that stands out over there. And a lot of great guards come out of Philly, man. These guys go at each other every day, man. In the inner city, it's tough over there. They play a lot of AAU ball. They play a lot of city league ball. And yeah, he's the top guard out of the city this year. No doubt about it. Philly is like a hotbed for guards right now.
Oh, historically, you talk about from Guy Rogers to Sonny Hill to John Chaney to you got Earl the Pearl Monroe, then you got to go Mo Howard, you got to go to Andre McCarter, and then you go Darryl Warwick, and then you go to the 80s with Pooh Richardson and that crew, and then you go through the 90s with Red Smith and Gratz and Kareem Towns, and the list goes on, and of course Kyle Lowry, the list goes on and on and on. They talk about New York City guards. I'm telling you right now, Philly guards are right up there with New York City guards as being the best. They want to talk about New York City guards all the time. Philly has turned out some great guards and great talent.
That's facts. If you want a winning team, you want a guard from Philly, New York, or New Jersey. You put that on the record.
Because we're tough. We play in snow. We play in the winter. We play everywhere.
That's real.
Yes. Real. As we go into the national scene now, we really going to talk about some stuff now. National scene. And I guess we're going to start with Pablo. Pablo, give us a rundown. And by the way, with you being a Duke fan, I know you're ecstatic with getting the #1 high school player in the country. I'm going to tell you something. Man. That kid is one of the most athletic players I've seen in my life. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. I'm going to make a prediction of this, too, because, it's going to come up.
Right.
I believe this kid right here, who we're going to talk about, is going to be the next great white superstar in the NBA after Larry Bird, since Larry Bird. I'm talking about he could be transcended where he takes the NBA to even a higher level. And let's talk about him right now, Cooper Flag.
All right. So yeah, Cooper Flag, Mount Verd kid, from Maine. Special kid, man. I'm like you said, I'm ecstatic to have him at Duke. For him to attend Duke. He's just special, man. I mean, just everything that he does, and I don't want to put too much stock into him being, white, but the hype
No,
around
we're
him
not.
is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And part of it has to do with him being white. That's just being real. You know what I'm saying? But that can't take away from his basketball
No,
ability. I've
he's a
seen this kid
basketball
play
player.
a lot. Absolutely. I've seen him play a lot since he was a sophomore. And I mean, I'm just impressed, man, by everything I see. I mean, he's a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really
Yes, he
got that
is.
dog in him. And that's probably the most impressive thing about him. He's not backing down from nobody. He's playing the best players that are 2 years older than him. He doesn't care, man. You know what I mean? And he's a winner. That's the biggest thing about Cooper Flag, is that he's a winner, bro, and that he's not backing down from anybody. That Montverde team is loaded, just like every year, man. So, I don't anticipate them losing any games. I can tell you that. I know that they won tonight by like 40 or something like that. So I don't know who they play next. But Cooper Flag is the leader on that team, and we're gonna see some special things out of that young man, bro. And I'm just looking forward to next year having him at Duke.
Right. Rob, what's your take on Cooper Flag, Montverde, and the national scene?
When I saw him 2 years ago, I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, really? I'm like, and that's huge for Duke. He's a game changer. He's gonna bring the game every time he's out there. We already know that. So it's a great pickup for them. I'm looking forward to seeing him, in a couple weeks. Well, about a month and a half here at the Metro Classic when they come up.
Yes.
So I'll be covering that. So I'll get to see him. Hopefully, I'll get an interview with him. And great kid. He's a great kid from what I can see. It's a great pickup for Duke.
Yeah. He and another thing too, his shot blocking. I don't think I've ever seen a small forward on a high school level that could block shots the way he does.
Yeah. Nah, he definitely good shot blocker, man. He be hunting those shots.
Yeah.
I saw a game in the EYBL where I think he blocked 12 shots or something crazy.
Wow.
Like, I was
Something
watching the game
crazy.
and I was like, damn, like he's going after everything. So
Yeah. Will.
I mean, Cooper is tough, man. The skill, the athleticism is there, but I think my favorite thing from watching Cooper is just the mentality that he plays with. Like, he's the dude that he wants to demoralize and destroy his opponent. And in this era, we don't have enough of that, honestly. You got buddy on the court, and when Cooper, is on that hardwood, pause. I know you a New Yorker, Pablo. You know what I mean?
hey, yo.
Oh, I know Pablo's from New York. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's on the hardwood. He's just trying to kill, and he's a player that, even though he's a star so far at every level, he's doing whatever it takes to win, and that is something that will always give a player, elevate a player in my book.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about some of his teammates, man. That because the supporting cast around him is man,
Tremendous.
woo, what can you say?
So from a talent perspective, I think on that team right there, because they got is Cooper, they got Derek McQueen, Asa Newell, Curtis Givens, what's the kid, the shooter,
Line.
yeah, Liam McNeely.
Liam.
Liam.
Liam
I think the
McNeely,
best.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the next best player on the team from a talent perspective is Asa, the kid who committed to
Yes.
Georgia. So
Yeah.
I really like this kid, man. Left-handed forward. You know what I mean? Super athletic, could shoot the ball, could put it on the floor, high motor. Is another good shot blocker. He's a really good weak side defender. I really like this kid. I think he's originally from Florida. Um, he's like I said, he committed to Georgia, so they that's a hell of a pickup for them. So that team is locked and loaded. They stacked as usual. So yeah, that's on that team. I think Asa definitely is the next best player on that team other than Cooper.
Derek McQueen's a load though down in that middle. He is a load. I've seen him, man. He's down there, man. He's an old school pound you on the boards type player, man. And he's good. He can do some damage. But also, don't forget about the point guard they got there too from Philly, Rob Wright.
Yeah.
Rob Wright was a monster.
Rob Wright too. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he's right up there with Noel coming out of Philly this year too as a point guard.
Yeah. But
he runs the show. This team's amazing. Rob, what do you feel about this? About Mount Vernon?
Well, it's the same story every year. They're going to come in with a very well-rounded team. It seems like Coach Boyle gets all the right pieces every year for each position to make his team excel to the utmost. That's why he gets what he gets. The coach. He's the highest paid high school coach in the country, and he brings them in there, and they just continue every year. So in 3 years from now, we'll be seeing somebody else like wow.
Yeah.
That's what he brings in. So yeah, they by far, man, the best team in the country. I mean.
Yeah. But they
got to play the game, though. They got to play the game, so anybody can beat you on any given day.
You're right. Anybody can beat on any given day. Is this team as good as the Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes team, and Woody that plays with the Warriors?
Right.
Is this team as good as them, or even better? I think talent-wise, on paper, talent-wise, like Rob said, you play the games, you have to win. I think this team is a little more deeper than that team in 2020.
Yeah, you got a good point there. Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean they probably are just as they probably are a little deeper for sure. Yeah, man, that's a hard call right there, bro. I would just have to see that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't even predict like a winner. I would have to see that game to know who's who and what's what.
Because when I go by the measuring stick of the greatest high school basketball teams of all time, I would have to say definitely it starts with Dunbar.
Oh man, come on.
It starts with Dunbar.
Yeah, Dunbar, number one.
It starts with Dunbar, and I'm gonna throw a couple teams out there too. Camden's '81 team. I know what happened with Neptune. Yeah, it's still a sore spot. I know what happened with them.
Yeah, that was a hurt piece. Yeah,
that team before that game was they were ahead of their time. If ESPN was as big as it is now back then, all their games would have been on ESPN back then. Yeah. That team was ahead of its time. You got to go to the '86 Camden team when you had Lou Banks, Victor Karstoffel, Johnny Denny Brown. That was a great team.
Yeah.
The teams in the '70s. I know people saying, there goes JP talking about Camden basketball again. But I'm just saying, you got to go to the teams with Stills in the '70s and stuff. But also, I expect you them to talk about great high school teams of tradition. But also, Simon Gratt's team with Rasheed Wallace.
Yes.
Monster team. Yeah. I'm just going through historically, is Montverde good as them? St. Anthony's with Bobby Hurley, Terry DeHare, Roderick Rhodes, and
I always said that we were so blessed as basketball gurus to see some of the greatest basketball players through every class from high school, college, and the NBA in our lifetime. I can't imagine it being any better than it's been.
No, again, I forget about the Matha, some of the great teams the Matha had. And of course, we can't forget New York City, your city, Rice,
Hell
Power
yeah.
Memorial, and with Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We like Rob said, we've been blessed. This area alone, our area alone, between just the tri-state, between Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. That's some of the greatest high school teams and greatest talent this nation and probably this world has ever seen.
Yeah.
Will, speak on it, brother. What do you feel about this Montverde team, and where do you see them going?
I mean, like Rob said, anybody can lose, if you don't bring it. But I do expect them to be right there, in the championship, man. Like just the amount of talent, where the pieces fit, And earlier, Derek Queen was brought up, and just he reminds me. I'm not saying his exact play style, but when you look at him, you don't expect him to move the way that he does on the court. He's very light on his feet and skilled. Almost a player that I think, to that kind of was surprising people when they first saw him, like Big Baby Davis. Right? You look at him, and you're like, man, this dude is just gonna be out there. He's like bumbling and stumbling around, and then he's like, spinning, losing defenders, doing all types of stuff, right? I think Queen is going to be a really good pickup, for our college program, man.
Yes,
and I do think Italy, while I don't think he necessarily is like a bona fide star, to the extent of some of the other players, he's a player that excels in his role. He makes shots, he defends, he moves the ball, he doesn't hold it. And I mean, every team needs a player like that. So when you look at those guys, aside from Issa Poole, who I think you could argue low key, like obviously Cooper's the man, but projecting 5-10 years down the road, like with the right coaching and development, man, he's a right there. He's a special talent.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, yes, Cooper Flags will be I'm not gonna look. I don't like to put expectations on people, but he has a chance to be a generational talent. This kid Noel that plays for him is going to be a great talented player too. I think they got at least maybe 5 NBA prospects on this team. At least 5.
Yeah, I can see that.
For sure.
They might have, and they might be the first team with 4 high school All-Americans in the McDonald's game. That's almost like a quarter of it. So they really came back with some great talent this year, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing them, and I'm definitely gonna be at that Metro Showcase too to check them out up there too. This team's when they come to your town, they are a must-see team to see this Montverde team. Also, we have to also mention while we're at it, we got to mention also another talented team out of the state of Florida, Columbus, with the Boozer twins. Speak on it.
Yeah, man. That team right there, real time. Are y'all getting a lot of feedback? I'm getting a lot of feedback in these headphones.
I'm getting some right now. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not getting no feedback. I don't really hear nothing.
Okay, now I think it's good now.
Okay.
Yeah, you still getting feedback, Will?
Yeah, I'm getting some.
I don't know what's going on, man. Let me disconnect these headphones real quick. Make sure it ain't me.
Is it off now? Because I had mine on mute.
Hold up.
No, we can still hear it, but you were on mute, so I don't think you can.
Yeah, I was on mute. Yeah, I had to do something real quick.
Yeah. I don't hear nothing. I have my headphones off. I actually don't have none at all. I'm doing this from
I just took mine off. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. I hear you good. Yeah. Hey, I've been hearing you good. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, bad. So that Columbus team, man, with the Boozer twins, super talented team. They got the kid Chase Richardson. Who's the damn? I forget this other kid's name. Anyway, that's a real good team, though. The thing I like about that team too is that they're well coached, man, and you can tell that these boys been playing together for a while. So Obviously Cameron Boozer is the best player on that team. Hopefully that he goes to Duke as well. So we'll see. But the thing I like about them as well is that they don't duck no smoke, man. They play the best of the best. They like line it up, roll the ball out and let's play. So that's what I like mostly about that Columbus team, bro. And I think they lost tonight. I think they lost in a close game tonight. Yeah, I believe they lost in a close game tonight. So I'm not sure if they have another game down there in City of Palms or whatever, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, man. With that team, they got a couple of pros on their team too, so yeah, that's gonna be good, man. They got a nice team.
Yeah, Rob, you had a chance to see him last year when Camden went down to Miami last year. What do you think about
they proved me wrong. I thought that game they ambushed Camden. They got them down there in the middle of the week. None of the fans could really go. If it's on the weekend, we all showing up.
Yeah.
So they had it in the middle of the week. It was actually the event that I was trying to put together too, but that fell through. To have them on the weekend, and I thought they got ambushed. But then when I saw them play again, Columbus, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, these cats are pretty damn good. And then, I watched them a couple more times. I'm like, they are very well coached, like you said. They're very well coached. The Boozer Boys, he's the number one player in the country, man. My mind, I like him. His game is real. He's getting a little more notoriety, but guess what? He's getting enough. He's gonna be okay next year. Yeah. I hope he doesn't go to Duke, but I hope he doesn't go to Duke, but I wish him a lot of luck.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel about Columbus twins?
Columbus is tough, man. And one thing that I want to say about them, kind of counter everything we were saying about Mount Vernon, is that, up until this year, no disrespect to the other players, players well coached. I like that guy. I think his name is Abdullah or something like that. He plays really hard, but it really was a two-man show. Cameron. And, they live and die. Now adding, Jace Richardson, his little brother, they have a little more help, but it's still not 12 high major players, right? So, like you said, they got no smoke, and they make you elevate, the talent that they had. I think that's volumes. And the losers, they just play the right way, and
right.
I feel like any program that have, and I have to say, Cameron, rightfully so, gets all the accolades. But Caden, I gotta say, Caden is better than I. Caden, I didn't play, but from really watching him going into the senior season this summer, he's really taking a leap in his assertiveness, and I think he's really taking a chance to make a name, for himself outside, being Cam's brother,
Right. Also, I guess the final team we got to talk about is this team out of California, Prolific Prep. They have two of the best, I guess, two of the best prospects. One's considered number one in 2025. One's in 2026. The one in 2026 is a kid by the name of Tyron Stokes. And the other kid who's probably got more publicity than him, one of the most publicity, probably the second most player who has the most publicity is the kid AJ. That plays with them as well. Summer he worked out with all the pros, Brian inviting him to work out and everything. What do you see about these two kids that we talk about, AJ and Tyron Stokes?
You want to go, Rob? You want me to go?
Oh, yeah, you can go.
Yeah, so Tyron Stokes, I seen it. Tyron Stokes and AJ Dynamics play a lot. man, Tyron Stokes is low, bro. Like straight up. Like yeah, he's actually from Louisville. Going out there to look at prep. Kid, he's about 6'7", probably like 230, 240. You know what I'm saying? Jumping out the gym, super athletic, can shoot the ball, to handle the ball. From what I was told, he grew up as a guard. You know what I mean? That's why he handled the ball so well. Super competitive kid. Plays with his heart on his sleeve. I love that kid, man. I love that kid's game. I love his competitive spirit. I like how strong he is, but he's super. Like I said, he's super athletic, but at the same time, he has a great body control. And he's a great kid, man, and just a competitor. As far as AJ goes, man, that kid's probably the best kid in high school, regardless of class. Like I know that's cliche. Everybody says that, but like, seriously, like I'm telling you, AJ is the real deal. You know what I mean? 6'8" kid, can do it all. Handle the ball, shoot the hell out of the ball. Competitive. Really reminds everybody of Terrence Clark, but I think he's going to be a better version of Terrence Clark. I think he's still growing into his athleticism, and he's pretty athletic already. So I think he still can take another leap in his athleticism. And when that happens, it's going to be scary, bro. It's going to be scary because he can put that ball in a hole better than anybody in high school basketball right now. And that's my take on it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rob.
Well, I haven't seen him play. I've seen a couple of highlights, but listening to the coach, sound like there's a couple of players I need to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
special duo, man. There's been a lot of assembled like high school teams, but as far as like being is loaded at the top of a roster, the last time I could think back to this is a few years back, and that's when you had DeAndre Ayton and
Marvin Bagley.
Yeah, Marvin Bagley, the same team. And these young guys, man, like Pablo said, they're competitors and they're skilled already, but it's crazy to say that they can improve a lot, AJ, I feel like it's a mindset thing, and of course, getting stronger, but it's just like the natural ability. It's up there, man. Some of the best we've seen, and I pray that these guys stay healthy and they stay motivated because as of right now, these guys are platform.
Right. And I guess before we wrap up this show, man, we gotta definitely do have an interview real quick with Pablo and Rob, because I know Rob has something special that he really does. But with an organization called King. We'll start with Rob. Rob, tell us a little bit about King and what the mission is. And what do you do?
All right, King is a Christian men's group. Our president and founder is Chris Bouchard of Fox Sports. I was invited to go to this cookout, and they didn't tell me where I was going. It's like 8 years ago, and I got there. It's like it's about 60, 70 black men there in the yard. I'm like, wow, what is this? And I look over, and Vince started smiling at my friend who took me. And I looked at it, I said, ain't that the guy to be on ESPN? And Chris had this big barbecue and invited all these men. And this is when he started this Christian men's group. Right now, we have 18 chapters across the country and 18 different states. Well, actually, 16 different states, because we got 3 chapters here in Jersey, Central Jersey, North Jersey, South Jersey, and our basic mission is to try to pull these men together and guide them in the way that the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ wanted them to be guided to be productive men and fathers and husbands, and in this world. That's what we're looking to do. It's going along real well. I am the sports ministry outreach director. We deal with the youth now, getting more of the youth more involved in what we do. And everything's coming along very well. We got a lot of stuff to do. We have our summit coming up in March, which is a great thing in Cleveland, Ohio. And you ever come to one, there's so many pro athletes there that are Christian and believe in the Lord, and it's a great time. So Chris has put something together that's helping change men's lives and families. So it's a great thing that I'm involved in.
Man, that does sound great, man, and very positive. Something that's really needed in our communities, man. As we see some of our communities, what's going on and stuff. I'm glad to hear something like this in place, and it's something especially for a lot of brothers and stuff that we go through a lot. And I say the sisters though too, they go through a lot too, because a lot of them are actually holding down more than a lot of brothers are in the community. But man, that's really a great thing that y'all have going on over there, man. Really a great thing.
Hey, hold on, JP, real quick before we move on. Rob, if you could just, I'm glad to hear about King. It sounds amazing. Could you tell us a little bit more, about your work? I know you were saying you cover a lot of like basketball events and stuff.
Hold on a minute. I had to go grab my charger because my phone was gonna die. Hold on.
All right, we'll circle back.
All right. Yeah, Pablo, go ahead. Tell us about yourself, brother, and what you do and everything.
Yeah, so you could really just catch us. So I do some independent scouting. It's all independent stuff. I have a mentor that pretty much showed me the ropes. It's a guy that I played for when I was younger. So you can catch me out there on all circuits, just scouting, bro. That's I just basically get it in. I just get on the road and I scout at all circuits. I write for the Ball Durham, which is a Duke. It's a Duke publication. It covers Duke. It's a publication that covers Duke. So everything basketball, man. I'm just into it. I haven't got out to any high school events yet this season, but I do plan on going some pretty soon. I just got to figure out which ones I'm gonna go to. And I might be at the Metro Classic. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
man. I'm just a little bit of everywhere, brother.
Well, if you do, man, we got to link up. Also, big game on January 27th. Don't know where the game's going to be at yet, but Camden versus Imhotep, the rematch from last year, which was Pablo. Let me tell you something. Will was there. I was there. I'm pretty sure Rob was there too. Man, that game was intense, and the tension. That gym, it was intense. It was intensity personified. Great games. You had Justin Edwards, Noel on one side, and you had Aaron Bradshaw, DJ Wagner, of course Billy Richmond and Sion Medley and the crew on the other side. Man,
Yeah,
that was a great
That was the best game I saw last year on any level, high school, college, man. Just the intensity, the trash talking amongst the fans, and even on the court, and just it was just an amazing atmosphere and a great game to be in. I mean, it was a great one of the best high school games I've seen. I put it to you that way.
Hey, JP, I'll tell you this much. Like, for the rematch, Billy better keep his jersey on.
He'll be all right, man. I'm pretty sure he'll be all right, man. You know what? First game, I emotions and stuff and everything, man. I can just imagine what he's going through. Senior year, there was a lot of pressure. Don't know what school you're going to yet, even though he's in Kentucky today. But I tell you, man, he's a special player, though, man. He really and another thing I like about him too is defender. He's a two-way player, great defender. Mm-hmm. Man, Pablo, you know what? While we wait for Rob to come back eventually. I got to ask you this, man. What the hell has happened to New York City basketball, man? What? I mean, what? You know what? I talked to some people from there. they always tell me, well, everybody up the city, you still got over 1 million or so black people live in New York City. Come on, man. I'm not trying to hear that. You still got that. What has happened to New York, especially the public league schools, where you had boys and girls historically, Lincoln, and was it Alexander Hamilton and DeWitt Clinton and all them? What has happened to New York City basketball, and will it ever come back to prominence?
So, in my opinion, I don't know. Some people be calling me crazy, but when I talk about it, but in my opinion, I think what happened in New York City basketball was the prep schools and the good weather in other places like California. You know what I'm saying? Texas, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be cold. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up there and just being cold all the time. If you got a chance to go move to Florida, who wouldn't take that chance? You know what I'm saying? Just to go play basketball somewhere. So, in my opinion, it's the prep school thing that kind of, ripped all the talent away from the city. As far as it coming back, it's coming back slowly but surely. But the same thing is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? The kid is gonna blow up. He's gonna get a better opportunity somewhere else, and then he gonna end up at Montverde or IMG or somewhere, or maybe Prolific in California. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be the same cycle, man. So I don't ever really see it being what it used to be, but I'm hopeful. I can tell you that I'm optimistic about the whole situation, but it's gonna be tough, brother. It's gonna be real, real tough.
Because I know they had a player there this year who signed with Carolina, who's actually at Our Savior New America now. It was at Cardinal Hayes in the Bronx.
Yeah, Ian Jackson.
Ian Jackson was the next big thing out of New York City, and apparently he's at Our Savior New America now. He's a very good player as well. So I've seen him too. He can play. He can put the ball on the court, man. He can put the
extremely talented kid, man. I think he was one of those outliers that kind of stayed in the city a little longer than people thought he would. But I know, like, the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was speculation if he was going to leave, you know what I mean? The whole time, you know what I mean? Like, throughout his whole high school career. So, he just was another kid, you know what I'm saying? But as far as talent-wise, man, that kid is super special. Super special. He's going to do some work at North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to, following his career as he move on to college.
You know what? Get ready to wrap it up. I forgot one more team we got to talk about. One more team, Long Island Lutheran, with Carmelo Anthony's son and a kid named VJ. What's his last name? VJ Edgewater.
Yeah.
Top 5 talent. This team looks pretty good, man. I mean, this team they got a lot of talent, and Carmelo Anthony's son is legitimate player.
He is. Oh yeah. What's that? Damn. I don't remember his first name. What's his first name? Kyan. Yeah. He's a good player, man. Super good player, man. I think that kid might end up signing with Syracuse, to be honest with you. But obviously, the main focus on that team is BJ. That kid is super talented. That's another kid that and Duke Kentucky is battling it out for. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But they also got another kid, they're big, Alir Malouk, who's a really good kid too. I think he committed to I want to say Florida State. I think it was.
Right, yeah. Florida State. He comes off the bench, I do believe, right? He's 6'11", he comes off the bench.
Yeah. But I think he's originally from Philly or something like that. Ain't he from Philly?
I never heard of that name in Philly.
Yeah, I thought he went to school out in Philly before he transferred
maybe
over
he
there
did.
To Long Island Lutheran.
Yeah.
And I thought that he did, but he's a good kid too though. Really good player. You know what I'm saying? Good shot, good defender, has a soft touch. Good player.
Yeah, I've heard about him, man. Yeah, but hey man, this was a great show, man. That we had tonight, man. Man, we definitely gotta have both of you all on again, man. Definitely, man. Rob and Pablo, man. We really want to thank you all for really being on this show and supporting us and stuff. As we try to do our thing here, man. We also have a third member. Got to shout him out too, Coach Rod Griffin.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. As he's the head coach at St. George's in Delaware. I think they are 3-2 for the year that I see. They had a game tonight. I'm not sure if they won or not tonight. But he's also integral member, third member of our team here. But anyway, we're at the end of the show. But anyway, kick the shout out. Who wants to go first?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize, man, for me falling in and out. Kind of like I got called to go do a game, and I rushed in here, man, and I'm like, I didn't even get to get settled in, and it caught me off guard. And I had Bible study at 7 o'clock, and I had to go to the car. But I just want to apologize, But great show, man. Thanks for having me on. I look forward to hopefully coming back on again and chopping it up with you guys.
Rob, anytime you want to come on, man. Pablo, of course, you too, man. Anytime y'all want to come on here, man, the door is open.
I appreciate it. that.
The door is open, man. Anytime y'all want to come on, man, definitely. So anyway, and Rob, also you have a network as well that you work with, right? That you have as well. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah. We actually, I'm in my media company. It's all about sports. We've been around since 2010, and I do my own home. I have my own games, my own showcases and stuff. But we starting with a radio station out of New York, WPAT 93 AM. We're gonna be getting some airtime on it, where we're gonna be taking a podcast on it. Tell the Truth Sports. It's the name of the podcast, and we're gonna be having some time, so maybe we all can get together, man, and take this thing on. That station's in over 30 million homes across the country, so we can probably put something together and do something.
We definitely talk, man. We definitely that sounds good, man. Because I believe that we need our voices out there compared to the stuff you hear on these local sports stations and stuff. Guys know what the hell they're even talking about half the time, and
right.
And you listen to like, how the hell are you only on the radio? Some of them, and everything. Pablo, shout out. Go ahead, your shout outs as well.
Yeah, nah, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. Y'all can follow me at Coach P Kong on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Y'all can look out for my articles. And y'all can just catch me on the sideline pretty much everywhere, man. I just pull up and I'm real low key. I ain't loud about my shit. I just go watch games. I evaluate and I do my thing. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely got to do a basketball event. All of us do, where we get we all get together and stuff. Because Rob, before you came on, one of the things I mentioned was game coming up on January 27th, Camden chapter, the rematch.
Right, the rematch. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even look at it on the schedule yet. I didn't even look yet, man. I've just been crazy getting ready to start the season off, and had some stuff had to be taken care of. I'm just now starting to set my schedule for high school basketball.
Right. And Will, anything you want to say, brother?
I just want to once again thank these gentlemen, man, for joining us, giving up their time and sharing their immense basketball knowledge. It felt like talking with family, man. So it's definitely a great episode, and thank you both.
Yeah,
appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
And on behalf of me and Will, we also want to thank our faithful listeners out there and the ones who watch us visually through YouTube and stuff. We want to thank you as well. So on behalf of me and Will, Pablo and Rob, we say peace and also Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Just everybody be safe, and remember, it's about family and friends and stuff. And
Amen.
Also, it's about, and remember, the season for those Christians who believe, it's not about getting gifts. It's about Jesus Christ. Just remember that.
Amen.
We say peace to y'all.